a bit of history. Nana Burkina Faso, your friend, the land of the upright people. Omo boda Ghana. Nana omu leader baako a wagidi pa Thomas Sankara. In fact, I know I'm Mary under Ghana Integrity Initiative lead no so ko Burkina Faso. For the first time in many years, omu brand is Thomas Sankara. And as a Ghana, yeah, they be a champion about Operation Feed Yourself. And Operation Feed Yourself and not dams account. In fact, Ghana president, Wama Ghana more dams for agriculture. I care champion, Ignatius Couture champion. Nana, one leader Burkina Faso, or more free a desert. Country would be a country in Sunio, but Mumbai, the agricultural hub of West Africa, no, Thomas Sankara, or a Bruni kind of one god, French one kind of one god, one village, and on a coup for one village, one dam. My dear mama has Ali Canada. Now, why will a democratically elected president, John Mahama, ever free coup maker, tell woman is swearing in? I am very interesting. Now, no one can buy you. I brand here to baby Guinea Damboya. A baby. Why were even coup makers coming to Mahama's inauguration? Because the man for Canaan, I'm saying, Debbie, don't train you the mommy was a research. So I decided to read about it. Now, could you read about it? Now, they may call the 16th of December 2022. I didn't see Washington. So now, a picture maybe na brand and Botswana president America so be two. The longest serving party no
guy.
French guy na money about na money busam so worry cause your friend Duma your friend Duma among from say Botswana is the longest serving democracy in Africa, over 50 years of democracy. Omunye kuku sem ne bi wo da bi omo to aba kama ono ne fine gentleman na kojo story ni nie. On the 16th of December 2022, ye be a friend in US Africa Summit. Certain na US Secretary a friend Anthony Blinken. And a coup for the cotton and no more command. And a coup for the papa bibi hame. Ni hame ne se ko Burkina Faso. Ye free group be the Wagner forces. Na Burkina Faso aban and I say administration also no. And you ma kodin komo eso mo man ni mo meko insurgency. Sinyati ene se nana okọ Burkina Faso country na efa ewo military leader we Ibrahim Traore efa so extremist wo ai terrorist for ni ade no na Ibrahim Traore na kofa Wagner for so meko ma no ene ode man bi e wo Burkina Faso e ama wo akufo dum kuro koboy no na in fact
okodi konkonsa
obetimi aka me sa in fact na wo share video na Satan na shele ayekobotwe our foreign affairs minister no akufo the status so you can clearly see that the woman was uncomfortable. It's Nana a big issue.
Akufo-Addo de ohu abrofo ana ne brofo abaw. A
big issue. Nana, me say kokonsaka kan say. O she your northern borders na. As president of Ghana na yem hye no. So he wanted the US to maybe intervene. And Ananim said there's also a hit between US and Russia because of NATO issues. And Burkina Faso took a strong exception to that. Nana, even as far as the BBC, the same 16th December 2022, BKLT will say Burkina Faso's military authority have summoned Ghana's ambassador over allegations they've hired Russian mercenaries to help fight jihadists. Sadly, Akufo-Addo kana Burkina Faso Ibrahim Traore free ambassador Masabra. Then I'm over some or president, then over so Now, this is BBC's report. That tells you how strong or how big the news was. No. I'm a Korea Akufo-Addo a liar. Ibrahim Traore.
There's not that time. The said, Okodi sa concern.
Yes.
Because we're who USA for.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a Akufo-Addo a liar. No. On the 22nd, where a story in the Bawumia was say. Unfortunately, we've seen the head of state, Akufo-Addo, who fell into that lies and went to tell the lie that you supposedly give mines to our in our Saudi party. So say, Akufo-Addo US, not strong West. For a head of state to use the president.
Say Russia for or the mine be amomo.
Amomo so mo ku jihad say na.
Na wo hwe ase ho na o say na say ye pese adi mo ma ye wo ye nhihye.
Yes, or say why give If the Russians want to mine, you have our mining codes. They come, they integrate, and they acquire license. They pay their tax and everything they have to do like everyone does. So there's nothing we give to the Russia, he stated.
Yeah.
This is Ibrahim Traore speaking.
And she said, Russia for Burkina say a per se minor. No mutuatia, they also mutuatia, no mu. What is wrong with that?
No. I didn't want to take his words. Already, the West Africa counter-terrorism reporter, there was some truth to that.
Yeah.
Because Nana, Oko Chad, Kunesi, and the Wagner was pointed. Even Malia, the Wagner was pointed. Because Russia wanted to take dominance in most West African countries more resources. Nana, Niger Kuno, there's an element of Wagner in there.
Exactly.
So Kufuor wasn't entirely wrong.
Yeah.
But eventually felt that we have nothing border neighbor. Why are you reporting me?
Now won't minimum casa.
It's you know someone Ghana's High Commissioner to the Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso. Bra, now be answer. Now in fact they nearly sacked the man from the country. That tells you how huge they is. And Mama BBC. Now there. When you go and the first one was done by Al Jazeera.
Right.
Nana, Okoswa on the 22nd of December, 6 days after, and the Kufuor Sane Kenda as a national security minister. They're nothing but this. Only important to us. Crack tomatoes, nearly $100 million from war. Almost two more than my higher. In fact, Jenny near Cochrane in Niger, no car, no a Burkina Faso, to no one Cocasa. Now, no more no say tea. Ghana national security minister. That Burkina Faso on Wednesday to repair a diplomatic rift after Ghana's president accused Ouagadougou of having Russian mercenaries to fight militants. Now, no, on the 9th of June 2023.
Who say tension about inti kandapa
and yes. Nana. On the 9th of June 2023, President Kufuor san sani emissaries view. Someone never kwan enko kasa. Nana dentia. Me catch us say okodin komo US 16th December 2022. Or the Kenda Park or 22nd December 2022. 9th June or san suma emissaries according to Africa. Why? Then I tell say almost 7 months. Not tension ukrum.
Abibie to missy.
Bibie to missy. Now, why is Burkina Faso important to us? Ghana imports $99.5 million worth of tomatoes every year from Burkina Faso. Tell my journey for Quada to journey for the journey, man. Because Niger, Kuwesi, can't for Burkina. So Burkina Faso is a very key country for Ghana. Almost a landlocked country, almost one near Ghana port and air bombs on Befa. So we have a mutual relationship. We cannot be in this war. Nana, tell me who you are. I'm saying John Mahama is being smart. In fact, Nana, the next day after the ceremony, you see on a papa ni video now. It tells you say John Mahama wants to fix something. What does he want to fix? Nana say West Africa, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Ome Frekuas. I'm so about TBBA. Your friend or what? The Alliance for Sahel States. Now, most of these countries, they are desert states. Now, so when I also, and to know from the Sahel. Now, 3 regions, almost 2 or more, Africa, we will struggle. And there's also a reason why Buhari, MC Buhari, Tinubu, Ebeye, the special guest of Fana, because Tinubu is the head of ECOWAS. So, Nana, I see what Mahama did, so did Ibrahim Traore as a strategic move to bring together ECOWAS leaders based on the history I'm telling you. Now, why is even the Sahel important? The second reason in the Kojo Hade. We are seeing your picking data say about terrorism. Kwemu cancer mono. Therefore, it's in Kojo 43% over the Sahel. It's a bit me ayo. A bit me Ghana near Okodijo Niger. A bit me Ghana near Okofa Jane, Banansa, Bernard Ebemaye, or bet my picture Nibia. Now, I can't say Ghana for a Kofa Jane Yechabakuti. About a year or 2 years ago. Yes, is your Mocas any idea. Or say, the Sahel account for 43% of global terrorism death. We are seeing terrorism death, 43% over the Sahel states. 43%, meaning that 4 out of 10 deaths are associated to global terrorism in Africa, West Africa. That is huge. It's in Nana, says Uncle Fonusuni ECOWAS. Now, what mean you are policy to address some of these things? very, very alarming. And that is why I think maybe the team Mahama had, agents says somebody a brand ba. No more use opportunity, no, and then a casa. Now Mahama yebida. Mahama lose the election 2016, Now just about 10 days later, then to Kobe Gambia. Yaya Jame, no atana Gambia 22 years. ECOWAS etu Mahama. Ellen Johnson California, the Mahama led the delegate picture ni. Ono no call Banju, eko broker peace no. Ema Yaya Jame etimi journey from Gambia. Ema the gentleman. Mahama sorry ni bi Adama Barrow ebe president of the Gambia. So per me research, based on all that I told you, because I think say Mahama brought that gentleman, Ibrahim Traore, to Accra because he wants to broker peace for the
because
ECOWAS.
Na Akufo-Addo ama asumdie no nsem na ayede.
Yes, there was tension. Yes.
And it is also some element of truth womu to say the now can say. Say no putting ehun say in Africa no. Ye jaya ma US fo atwa boni bia to Russia force. US inti we African ya who Putin so e beifo onye papa we wudini. Inti Putin so who say opeso ba Africa ma Africa fo so who say until said the US for ka no. O dia say enu na the Eastern Bloc no so the Russia, China, North Korea for no so aka bo hu ne say yanso ma Africa for ni hu say ye ni papa. Nemom US for no ye ni papa boni mi a o mama ye hu say ye ni papa. Inti e free na e kono. Say Sikana mode beba, yanso ye di bi beba. Into whoever is ready, you better support it.
No, one US president, I think. I forgot to say, or quote will say, anything the US does in its interest.
Oh yeah.
Now Russia, Wagner group, they came to being. Maybe one day, I just read the often the explainers. Wow, Paris with me actually. Just Google the explainers, the Wagner group. It was to eat into West Africa. And then I have countries are mostly would say Wagner, Chad, resources, Niger, resources, Mali, resources, Burkina Faso, resources. So Russia also wanted to establish its dominance in West Africa because China has already done that. And I pay country, Africa, the 54, 56 blocks, China. Even in fact, Ghana, we almost have our money to China. Now, you'll be recently, they took over the Mombasa port in Kenya. So that tells you that if you have a strategic port like Mombasa port in the hands of China, it tells you something. So the Russia also wanted to exert a dominance there and get African leaders to support it. The reason why Ivory Coast presidency, one of my finest presidents, I say, because what's a constitution called third term? What's the report there, Samba? Or some person called fourth term? Why? Because Macron was supported. And then after there, most of the francophone states, coups in East Africa, hardly will you see coups in Africa in anglophone countries. Note, coups are seen in recent times. Burkina Faso, multiple. Niger, France. Guinea, France. Mali, France. Because the French dominance, is a key. And a French power sema, they will support every nonsense you do. A clear example is read about Félix Houphouët-Boigny of Côte d'Ivoire. Why he was able to stay in power for that long. Félix Houphouët-Boigny per IEA, and we see a CIA report, where we're almost part of all the coups in West Africa, particularly in French countries. Sylvanus Olympio, Thomas Sankara, any other. So that is how the countries operate. So Russia will not come because they want the good for West Africa. No. They will give you crumbs and they will take the bread. Send the USA, they will give you crumbs and take your bread. So it wasn't entirely false. So Wagner is in there, but Ibrahim Traore was hurt that the Kufuado Ejinama, and he feels a certain solace in John Mahama. Because and let's not forget, and then Sama forecast almost 20 presidents about Mahama showing in. He's a former president. He's been ahead of ECOWAS before. Then Adama Traore free Gambia. Abba Mahama